Hello everyone, welcome to Excel Civils Academy. Today we are going to discuss about one of the important values in public administration, that is transparency in public affairs. Now this has been highlighted as one of the important values by ARC2 also. Now the outline of the following lectures would be on the definition of transparency. We will look at the need for transparency and the various tools that we use in this country to enhance transparency. And one of those important tools is RTI Act, which was enacted in 2005. We will briefly discuss about the objective of RTI Act, and we will also look at the provisions of the Act as well as the challenges that we are facing with the provisions of the Act as well as the implementation of the Act. Now let us begin with the definition of transparency, and this definition was given by ARC2. Transparency is nothing but availability of information to us citizens regarding the functioning of the government, the institutions of the government and their actions as well as inactions. Alright, this is the definition which is given by ARC2. It simply means that citizens must have all the information possible regarding the functioning of the government, regarding what the government plans to do, what is it doing, and what is the rationale behind the steps which are taken by the government. This information must be available to citizens. Alright, now there are three dimensions to transparency. One is the voluntary disclosure on part of the government. That is, the government must be proactive in disclosing all the information to citizens regarding various schemes and programs as well as policies of the government. This is the first dimension of transparency. Second is information must be given to citizens when it is demanded by them. For example, if you want to get information regarding some scheme or program of the government, and if you file an RTI application, you should be able to receive that information. One is voluntary disclosure by the government. Second is whenever it is demanded by the citizens, the information must be given to the citizens. And the third dimension of transparency is accountability when information is not disclosed to citizens. For example, if you file an RTI application and if the information that you have asked for is denied to you by the government, there must be accountability. The government cannot simply take unilateral decisions regarding whether to give this information or not to citizens. There must be statutory or legal obligations to the government. Only when it is absolutely necessary, it should be able to deny that information to citizens. Alright, so these are three dimensions to transparency which is very important: voluntary disclosure and giving information on demand, and finally answerability on part of the government whenever they deny that information to citizens. Now all three dimensions can be seen in your RTI Act. RTI Act deals with voluntary disclosures, and it will also prescribe a specific procedure which we have to follow as citizens to receive information from the government. And whenever the government denies information to citizens, it must be on specific grounds or criteria. It cannot unilaterally decide not to give information if it is not legally possible to do so. Alright, so this is the definition of transparency, and the tools that we use to enhance transparency would be your RTI, citizens charters, as well as e-governance. These are three important tools that we have been using in the recent times.